Welcome back to the latest encounter at the Dawson Wam Formula 4 Championship. We've already seen some fantastic racing this year, which puts Matt Rangarrido in the lead of the championship. Alan Davidson is second in the championship. He lines up in fourth. But let's turn our attention to Noel Robinson. He's a previous champion and he knows how to win. He's not raced all year, put it on pole position. Looking forward to this?
Yeah, really looking forward to it. It's we've done a lot of work to the car over the winter, and it was great yesterday just to be back out and testing for the first time this year and be right on the pace even with the national boys. So really looking forward to this race, and we're out to win.
Yes, you certainly are. Winning's your forte. Good luck, that's all I can say. Hopefully we'll see you on the podium.
Thank you, yep.
Yes. Let's keep an eye on Noel, and I'll hand you up to our race commentator, Andy McEwen.
Yeah, thank you, Anthony. Cars lining up on the grid ahead of our first race of the weekend. Here is how they line up with Noel Robinson, as we said, on pole position, David McCullough alongside. Matt Rangarrido and Alan Davidson are on the second row together, ahead of Scott Finley and Will Heron. Andrew Blair and Nicky Gibson in the only pre-1982 car are on the fourth row. Then it's Henry Campbell and Ian McCullough rounding out the top 10. Ashley McCullough is next, ahead of David Nicol. Then at the back of the grid, Jennifer Grogan, Terry Walkinshaw and Jim Campbell. So, who is going to make the best start? From the front row then, on the outside, or the left-hand side of the track as we look at it, is our pole sitter, the black and red number 55 of Noel Robinson, and the all-white car of David McCullough alongside. The revs begin to rise as the red lights go on. They go out now. We're away in racing here at Kirkistown, and who will make the best start from the front row of the grid? It doesn't look like it's a brilliant start from Noel Robinson. I think it's going to be David McCullough that leads down towards the first corner. Yes, indeed, he does. So it's McCullough that leads the way, and I'm not even convinced that Noel Robinson is into second place either. Down towards the second corner they go at Colonial. Big lock up there in the background for Andrew Blair in the 101 car. He just about keeps it on the road, but that was a close moment down into the first real braking zone of the lap. He will just about be able to hang on though to that particular position, and that's Ian McCullough I think behind him in the 98 car. Head down towards the chicane for the first time of asking there. We can see the pre-90 contingent making their way through. Back along the back straight towards the hairpin they go, and this is where the slipstream starts to take effect. And can David McCullough hang on to the race lead? It is Matt Rangarrido in second place. It's third place for Noel Robinson, and fourth place by the looks of it for Alan Davidson, which means we have our three race winners so far this season, all inside the top four. Side-by-side battling going on further back, but thus far in the season, Matt Rangarrido, our championship leader, perhaps unsurprisingly, has taken the most race victories. He's actually the only driver to have taken more than one race victory this year. He has won 4 times. David McCullough and Alan Davidson have both won a race apiece. Another big lock up there further back for one of the pre-90 cars as they make their way back through Colonial and in towards Fisherman's. That was one of the battles heading down towards the tail end of the field. Henry Campbell there in his Reynard FF1600, one of the newer pre-1990 cars, if you see what I mean. Not leading its class as we speak. The quickest of the pre-90 cars in qualifying was Alan Davidson, but as we can see, he's perfectly capable of mixing it with the post-89 cars as well. Down in towards the hairpin we go. Side by side there for 5th position. That's Scott Finley going up the inside and gaining a place, I think, at the expense of Will Heron. Wheel banging and locking up going further back. That's Ashley McCullough, the 122 car. And just in front of him, I think that was Ian McCullough making the move stick as they make their way back down the straight once more in towards the first corner. They flash past the start-finish straight at the start-finish line. Leading 4, making their way around to the far end of the circuit. They've really made a big break from the rest of the field now. Lots of battling going on further back, lots of battling going on towards the front, it must be said, because it looks like Matt Rangarrido, having got this second place away from Noel Robinson, is not having an easy time of holding on to it. He's staying with the leader, but Robinson's certainly applying the pressure. Then we've got Alan Davidson there in 4th position, who flings the Mondial through the chicane, the John Crossley chicane. Do have 2 Crossleys that were entered this weekend. One of them, though, Ryan Templeton, didn't get out in qualifying and therefore hasn't been able to race either. Matt Rangarrido defends the inside line there from Noel Robinson. Now tight line in, could hurt his speed on the exit of the corner. Indeed it has, and so Robinson will try and pull himself alongside. Matt Rangarrido just about gets over to defend though, and almost squeezes the national Formula Ford race winner into the pit wall. Back out of the first corner they go again though. Matt Rangarrido really having to defend now as they jockey for position down in towards the right-hander at Colonial. All of that battling for second is just allowing the leader to pull a slight gap. Ooh, Margarito defends again in towards Fisherman. He's really struggling, really having a hard time of keeping Noel Robinson at bay. Robinson in the toe, and he'll try and get a good exit from the chicane now and attack down the back straight. It's going to get really close though, as he dips a wheel onto the grass. Now, can he make the move stick? Matt Rangarino pulls to the inside to defend. Robinson goes to the outside line instead. And will he be able to go right around the outside in the braking zone? Yes, he can. Gets the move made before they even hit the brakes. And Noel Robinson picks up a position. So Robinson begins the fight back now after a slightly tardy start. But that, I guess, really just comes down to race rustiness. This is his first race this year. He has not raced with the championship or indeed in any capacity so far in 2018. The former champion, former winner of the Martin Donnelly Trophy as well, a really prestigious award in Irish Formula Ford racing. And he's just slowly but surely getting back into the groove here really at Kirkistown, and race starts are not easy to do when you're a bit out of practice, but now he's got going. He's showing he's got the speed. Can he go after David McCullough and take the race win? Which game we go? This is a 20-minute race, remember. So it looks as though the top four cars are likely to be the ones contending for the win here throughout. They've pulled a decent gap over the rest of the field now as they make their way back down through the hairpin and along the pit straight, where big moment there for oh well, I was going to say big moment there for Noel Robinson, even bigger moment for Matt Rangarino, who throws away third position, and that was just a lack of concentration maybe coming out of the final corner. Just dipped a wheel on the grass, and then the road keeps going right as you come out of that corner. It's very easy to get sucked straight over onto the grass, so Matt Rangarino loses a position, and more significantly perhaps loses quite a bit of time to the leading cars. Mistake there for Scott Finley. That will allow Will Heron back through into 5th position as they rounded Colonial. But look at this, Noel Robinson, having now shaken off the attentions of Matt Rangarino, who made that mistake, has immediately latched onto the gearbox of the race leader. He's in the tow as they go down the straight towards the hairpin at the end of the lap. Not quite as close as he was a couple of laps ago when he passed Matt Rangarino for 2nd place, but he's certainly close enough to get a bit of a slipstream. Down the middle of the road goes McCullough, to the outside goes Noel Robinson. No way through though for the time being. Back out of the hairpin, can he get the switch back? No, it looks as though just about McCullough is going to be able to hang on. So back along the pit straight they go, and Noel Robinson definitely looks the quicker of the two here, but where and when can he make his move stick? He's close again as they go down towards Colonial. Looks to the outside, but there's no way through. There's Matt Rangarino in 4th. Be interesting to see what sort of lap times that he can get now that he's in clean air. He's going to have to go quite quickly to close in on the leading trio. Oh, and another mistake there for Scott Finley, just as he did one lap previously at that corner, making the mistake going down into Colonial, outbraking himself. That time he didn't lose a place, but it cost him a chance of regaining that 5th place anytime soon. He's back out of the chicane. They appear to just slowly be dropping Alan Davidson, who was only 0.6 of a second away from pole position in qualifying. Noel Robinson and David McCullough, as we said, were the top 2 in qualifying, and they were separated by less than 1/10 of a second. And here they are fighting for the race lead, but it's McCullough who has the lead at the moment, and Robinson who wants it and is trying everything he can to wrestle the lead away from the man who's led since the drop of the green flag so far at the inside towards turn 1. You can't really overtake there though. That was a mere distractionary tactic there to try and force the mistake. Oh dear, speaking of forcing mistakes, that was Terry Walkinshaw's Van Diemen looping around right in front of the race leaders going down into Colonial. That was a heart-stopping moment, I'm sure, for the front runners as they arrived on the scene to find the first back marker that they've encountered all race, throwing it all away right in front of them. So back down towards the chicane, having said that he's being dropped, and I think that Alan Davidson's maybe closing back in again on these two. Possibly the slight bit of defending that McCullough is having to do is just holding these two up and allowing the 3rd place car to close in, Matt Garrido, though, does not seem to be catching, although this is now getting ultra defensive, so they're all going to start holding each other up even further now. Well, Robinson to the outside, almost gets ushered off the edge of the road there by McCulloch, but Robinson is not looking to drag around the outside of the hairpin, but trying to get the switch back and get more speed off the corner to then drag alongside down the pit straight. But that's easier said than done, and of course the next corner will still be a left-hander, so it's not the easiest of things to do to make that switchback manoeuvre work. You're then back on the outside line again. Lots of corners like that here in Kirkistown, where you go from the left to the right to the left to the right. It makes it quite difficult sometimes just to execute the move. Back down through Colonial we go, and it looks as though for the time being McCulloch has seen off the challenge for Noel Robinson, but for how much longer? Noel is not a million miles back. He's certainly close enough to get the slipstream as we go down the straight once again. And will he be able to mount a challenge down in towards the hairpin? He's certainly going to close on the run down there. I'm not sure he's quite close enough. And welcome back to race number 1 of the weekend here at Kirkistown for the Dawson Wam Formula Ford 1600 Championship here. We've had a great race so far, and this three-way fight for the lead developing quite nicely now between David McCulloch, Noel Robinson and Alan Davidson. Garrido running in 4th place after a grassy excursion at the hairpin a few laps earlier. Side by side for the race lead though, Noel Robinson looking to the outside line on the way into the hairpin as he tries to make the move for the lead, but he just cannot find a way past our long race leader David McCulloch. David, who started from the outside of row number 1 but has been able to work his way through quite nicely into the lead at the start and held on to the position for a while. Checking that some of the battles going on a bit further down the order. We've got some of the pre-90 cars here dicing away as they make their way down in towards the hairpin and move on there, maybe up the inside. Side by side racing throughout the field. That's the 24 car getting eased out wide. That is Nicky Gibson, actually the oldest car on the grid there, the Crossley 40F, the only remaining Crossley after Ryan Templeton's car never made it out of qualifying. And he was busy defending there, was Nicky, as they went through the hairpin, back down through Debtor's Dip and in towards Colonial we go, and he's going under increasing pressure now from the car behind, which is the 122 machine of Ashley McCulloch. Ashley McCulloch looks the quicker of the two at the moment, as you'd expect in some ways. The 1989 Mondial, much newer car, but the speed of both of them seems fairly even for the time being. Down the straight again towards the hairpin, and these 4 cars are absolutely inches apart, and down the inside finally goes Ashley McCulloch. I think he might be able to make it stick this time. He certainly gets to the corner first, then runs wide on the exit though. He's on the grass and hands the place straight back again to Nicky Gibson. So Nicky Gibson read that situation well, actually realised that Ashley McCulloch had gone steaming into the corner too quickly and that he wasn't going to make the corner, and so he just patiently sort of hooked back on the entrance, did Nicky, and retook the position down towards Colonial. There's another gap up the inside there which almost shut in his face. That was close stuff there. Ashley McCulloch really having to be careful now so as not to get tangled up with Nicky Gibson. He feels he's faster now, just can't quite pick the lock and find a way through. Down in towards the chicane they go. Henry Campbell is the number 90 car next in line, and looks like Ian McCulloch in his Reynard is the one behind him. So those are the 4 cars here, 4 of the older cars on the grid, but producing great quality racing. But of course Formula Ford 1600 racing always has been exciting regardless of the era. The formula has never really changed, always the same idea. Take a 1600cc Ford engine, stick it in the back of an open wheel single-seater without any aerodynamic aids, and this is the quality of racing you get. Henry Campbell now up alongside Ashley McCulloch, who again tried to make the move down to the hairpin only to lose speed on the exit and end up almost losing the place down the next straight in towards Colonial. This time he tries the outside line on Nicky Gibson. That was not going to work either. Nicky fends him off. Back around towards the far end of the circuit they go, and all 4 of them inches apart. This is the slipstreaming action that you tend to get with these cars, especially around a circuit like Kirkistown, where we have this long back straight, fairly long pit straight as well. It's quite a wide circuit, of course, so it does produce good racing down towards the hairpin, to the outside line. Oh, he's made the move stick this time, has he, Ashley McCullough? Or has he gone in too deep on the brakes again? Oh, yes, he has. Couldn't get the car stopped, and around it goes. And, well, that was a bit of frustration creeping in there, I think. He really did feel that he was quicker, but just couldn't make the move, and ended up throwing it all away at the hairpin. So Ashley McCullough rejoins. The battle continues, but Ashley is now quite some way back. Through Colonial go the 3 remaining cars that were involved in this dice. Behind us now, Ashley. There is the 90 car of Henry Campbell. And he's actually dropped behind Ian McCullough somewhere in all of that as well, which I didn't notice at first. It's Ian McCullough now the first of the 2 red cars. In his 1983 Reynard. Henry Campbell in an 89 car, which is newer, but doesn't seem any quicker, certainly at the moment, does it, than Ian in front. So, having lost one McCullough from his tail, all of a sudden, it looks like Nicky Gibson's going to have another one breathing down his neck, although Ian McCullough busy defending for the time being, trying to hold on to this newly found position. Drifts a bit wide on the exit of the corner again. Look at the switchback manoeuvre there being made on the inside line by Henry Campbell. Means he carries a bit more speed onto the straight, but it's the wrong side of the road, really, and so, yeah, he's not quite able to take full advantage of that. Getting into the closing stages of this race now as well, only about 5 minutes or so to go. So, how many more opportunities to make the move stick will there be down towards the long right-hand round to the furthest point of the circuit of Fisherman, which sort of opens up and then tightens on you again at the exit of the corner, which is why they all run right up over that curve coming out of the turn. To let the car run out as wide as possible and then use all of the curves through the chicane. Try and avoid the exit curve though, because that will slow you down, and then back down the straight towards the hairpin once more. And they are heading now. Cars hit the brakes. You can see the 2 red cars both hooking the inside line as again Ian McCullough is forced to defend. This is further allowing Nicky Gibson to escape. McCullough runs wide on the exit. Exact repeat of what we saw a lap ago. Doesn't look as though there's any way through, so still the same order as they head back along the start-finish straight, or well, they are still overlapping slightly. But yeah, always likely that they will head for a single file through the first corner. Don't really want to be running wheel-to-wheel through there. Another lap to go. Drifting a bit wide of the apex there, but there is no way through still. Further down the order, here are some of the other pre-1990 contenders. And 23, that is, David Nickel, even, excuse me, leading this little trio of cars. Coming under increasing pressure as we go on to the final lap. So the last lap begins. Back out towards the far side of the circuit they go. At the front of the field, well, now hang on, is this an issue for, or is that about Mark? No, that is an issue. That's an issue for David McCullough. David McCullough slowing down. The man who was leading the race. It's all changed anyway at the front of the field. So we've got McCullough had been leading from Alan Davidson. So Alan Davidson has actually gone through into the lead, but the last time we checked in on him, he was 3rd because Noel Robinson was 2nd. So it's now going to be Alan Davidson that has the lead, and Noel Robinson goes into 2nd position, and Mario Guido could inherit 3rd place. So down towards the start-finish line, and the checkered flag is waiting. So on the last lap of the race, David McCullough, who had a handsome lead, runs into some trouble and is out of, or possibly out of the race. Will he get to the end? I don't think he will. It sounded almost like a gearbox issue, didn't it, that put him out of contention. Well, that's a real shame then, but it hands the victory to Alan Davidson in the 1989 Mondial, and it beats some real young blood as far as the cars are concerned. Anyway, so some of the newer cars on the grid that it beats to the victory, but there is confirmation. It's Davidson who wins by 8/10 over Noel Robinson. Matt Rangarido is 3rd, Will Heron is 4th, and Andrew Blair. Nicky Gibson was 6th, Ian McCullough, Henry Campbell and Ashley McCullough round out the top 9. Then we have Jennifer Grogan, David Nicol and Jim Campbell the only remaining finishers, because we lost Terry Walkinshaw, David McCulloch and Scott Finley from the race.
What a race. You started fourth, swapping places all race, and on the last lap you got a lead. Well done.
Yeah, thanks. Just want to start with thanking all the sponsors this weekend and everybody that got us here. But yeah, we were very fortunate in the race. A lot of things played out for us, but lost a bit of time with black markers. But all in all, a good race, good result for us.
It's fantastic to watch, and it's been a great championship so far. You're still second in the championship after that, with Matt finishing third.
Yeah, I think that leaves us still second, but a bit of the year to go to try and make up for lost time. So yeah, we're looking forward to it. Bring on the national races.
Brilliant. All right, well, for now, go and enjoy it. Well done.
Okay, thanks.
Noel, I spoke to you before the race. You're hoping for the win. You nearly had it. It was the last lap, but second place isn't too bad.
Yeah, it was tight. David drove really well. It was, unfortunately, he dropped out in the last lap, but I braked myself into the hairpin with maybe 4 or 5 laps to go. I'd got into the lead and I'd passed a back marker on the dirty side of the track and just couldn't get stopped. But so that was my fault, but one of those things, and we'll hope for better in the next one.
Yeah, one more step to go.
Yeah, that's it. We'll aim for the win in the next race, and I think we've got the pace to do it.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Tough race, a tough qualifying session as well, but to come away at the podium, you've got to be happy.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's all damage limitation, really. Unfortunately, I made a mistake there, dropped a wheel on the grass, and that really put me out of winning contention. So I was pushing on as hard as I could, but didn't have the pace to catch up the top boys. So I'd like to say a massive well done to Alan Davidson, drove a great race, well-deserved win, and really unfortunate for McCulloch, because he was looking like he was on for the win, and yeah, so he's just got no luck. He has. I shouldn't really be on the podium because he'd have won it. But yeah, again, I'd like to thank my team as well. Everyone who's helped me, my sponsor, XL Label, and my dad for making it all possible as well.
Well done. You're still leading the championship. We've got another race coming up. What can you do there?
Hopefully, I'll be 2 steps higher on the podium for the next one. So that's the plan anyway. Yeah.
All right, well, for now, go and enjoy it. Well done.
All right. Thank you very much.
Well, fortunately, that brings an end to the action here at Kirkistown. What a weekend's racing we've had from all formula, and a huge thank you to the 500 Racing Club for putting on such a great show. Remember, if you want to watch this racing live, you're welcome here anytime.